This is Triggered.
And you will be. Hello, Chantal.
Hello. Happy Halloween, Mother Lucker.
It is spooky season.
Oh my god. Does spooky season last? Like, I am from middle of September till Christmas.
Yes.
And Samhain happens on Halloween, which is fantastic. But then there's like a ton of Celtic events and holidays that happen all throughout November.
And our girl is an Irish girl.
Ding, 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 ding.
And I'm just here for the ride.
Oh, yeah. That's okay. Every Irish girl needs a ride along.
It's true. It's true. It's one of my favorite things about you is just your spunk.
Ah,
love your spunk.
The spunkiness. When
you said that, Halloween was going to be right through till Christmas time, I've decided I'm doing a black Christmas tree this year.
We are going to post photos of this because I think that is like the vibe of my soul.
Yes.
And I feel like my kids aren't going to be about that.
No.
So I'm just going to live it up when I'm here.
Yeah, because Chantal has a pretty large family of still quite little ones. Like, they're all teenagers now. And my kids are also teenagers. But I live in this 2-bedroom condo that's all windows. So, like, when people walk up, I want them to see just, like, bam!
Like, we are doing goth Christmas up in here!
Yes, we are.
Amazing. I'm so excited.
Okay. So, today we have a special surprise.
Yay!
Because it's the holidays, we've decided to do a twofer.
Yep. 2 for 1, baby. You're going to get both of us today in one episode, which is not normally how we're going to do things. Episodes will be released on Thursday. 1 week it will be Ashley, and 1 week it will be moi, Chantal. But this week we figured, because it's our first episode, we're going to go out, we're going to give you a taste of both of us.
And we're launching on Halloween, so why not make it a little special?
Exactly.
Everyone needs something. Buckle up. I actually am really excited to tell this story because it is so insane.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
All right. So let's set the scene.
Yes.
All right. So the crime takes place in the 30s. This is probably one of the coolest things I've ever had to dive deep into because all the court documents I read online were all handwritten. That is
so cool.
Yeah. So it took me a really long time and a lot of the language, right? So I'm like, what does that mean, Google?
It's all like biblical.
Oh,
they're like, thou shalt not murder each other.
All right, let's get into it. We're diving into the unsettling story of Christine and Leah Pappin. So 2 sisters born into a troubled family in Le Mans, France. This story is not only wildly unbelievable, but the psychological aspects just blew my mind. I could not get enough of it.
I love that psyche shit.
I found it to be so deeply disturbing, considering the time it happened and the way things kind of went down. And it's amazing because as we talk about it, you're going to see why. All right. So Christine and Leah were born to parents Clemence, say it in French.
Clément.
Love that. Clemence Dare and Gustave Pappin.
Gustave. You just have to be breathy with it and it's immediately French.
Okay, so Clemence and Gustave. Their family history was marked by scandal and strife, starting with Clemence's rumored affair with her employer during the courtship.
Scandalous.
Oh, now the time is 1901 in October. Love October. So Clemence becomes pregnant, but their troubles were just beginning. 5 months later, their first daughter, Amelia, was born, and Gustave's suspicions about Clemence's fidelity only grew. As a bid to escape all of the tensions of the family, he took a new job in another city, but Clemence was adamant she would rather take her own life than move away.
That's a little dramatic.
It's dramatic.
All right.
Clemens, we know you love someone else.
Yeah, we're being drama here.
Yep. Eventually, after finding out that she was expecting another child, she begrudgingly moved. She was like, well, the jig is up. Let's go. Plus, I mean, all you would have is rumors and, like, small town
Can you
gossip.
imagine stepping out?
No.
Everyone would be like, ha ha.
So the family dynamics started to worsen. Gustav started drinking a lot of alcohol, and the marriage begins to crumble. Shortly after the move, Christine is born on March 8th, 1905.
Oh, y'all, that is Ashley's birthday.
My daughter's birthday.
That's right.
Very cool. Clemens was seen as an unfit mother right away.
Of course.
She was deemed unsuitable and lacking in nurturing qualities expected of a parent back then. As a result, she kept her firstborn, Amelia, who was 3 years old at the time. And then Christine was placed in the care of her paternal aunt and uncle.
Okay.
Okay?
Weird, but
yeah.
all right.
So they gave the baby away, kept the youngest. So in the paternal aunt and uncle's home, Christine experienced a rare glimpse of happiness, enjoying a stable and loving environment for the first 7 years of her life. But this brief period of joy was soon to give way to a much darker reality. 6 years later, okay, so we have Christine living with the aunt and uncle. 6 years later, Leah is born. Because, let's try again, I guess. She's born September 18th, 1911. From the very start, her life was marked by upheaval. After birth, Leah was placed in the care of her maternal uncle, and she lived there until he passed.
So we've just dispersed this family to all our family members.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Except Amelia, who stayed with
We kept Amelia.
Gustav, yeah.
Got it.
And Clemens. The family turmoil escalated in 1912 when Clemens made a drastic decision regarding their older sister, Amelia. At age 9 or 10, it's not clear, it is alleged that her own father, Gustav, raped her.
Oh,
Yeah.
gross.
So I wonder did he rape her because he didn't think she was his child? Regardless, it doesn't fucking matter. It's disgusting and horrific.
But maybe there was a little bit of
Like
that
hatred
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Regardless, it doesn't matter if it was or wasn't.
Yeah,
That's still his
absolutely.
daughter.
Even
And
if
she's a
it
child.
wasn't his daughter, even if it wasn't a child, we don't rape people.
No,
So,
we're not doing that.
no.
So Gustav rapes her and Clemens loses it.
Of course.
But not for the reason you're thinking. She starts claiming that she was certain her daughter seduced her husband.
I hate her.
Yes, Clemens is a fucking disaster. So Clemens sends her to a strict Catholic orphanage known for its rigorous discipline. Like, this place is old school nuns, like...
Yeah, that'll fix her for sure.
Oh, yeah. The decision would soon impact Leah and Christine as well. Shortly after Amelia arrives at the orphanage, both Christine and Leah join her. The mother sent them there, intending that when they turn 15, which is around the age that you would send your children off to work back in this time, and they would bring home money for the family.
Work or get married.
Basically.
Yeah.
She wanted them to go to the orphanage as well, and then at 15, they'd start working essentially for her.
Yeah.
While Amelia was in the orphanage, she did find her path for religion and opted to become a nun.
Oh.
Which I think probably was a good thing for her.
Yeah.
She didn't have, a safe environment ever, obviously, with men as well. So maybe this was probably very calming for her. So I'm glad for her. She became a nun. As it is recorded, she did continue to live the rest of her life into old age following this path. This resulted in her cutting her ties off to her family. That was so unacceptable to Clemens because Amelia would have been the first one to start working for her, so she was enraged.
Right.
So she wouldn't be able to earn any money, so basically, what was the point kind of idea with Clemens.
Yep.
Christine had been trained in various household duties at the orphanage. And remember, she's older, so which made her transition into a live-in maid relatively smooth for her. She quickly became known as a hard worker and an excellent cook.
Something I am not.
I mean, we just did eat salad out of a bag.
Yeah, but it was good salad. You made it well.
I tossed
You
that
mixed
salad.
You tossed that salad like a motherfucker.
though her employers noted that she was insubordinate at times. So Christine was a little bit of a rebel and was quick to kind of anger. In contrast, Leah, the younger one, was described as quiet, introverted, and obedient. She was a very diligent worker. She was often viewed as less intelligent than Christine, so maybe a little more simple. Her employers, though, were generally pleased with their contributions. Clemence was never satisfied with the pay and constantly made them move employers. She pressured them to seek out better opportunities constantly, so this was complicating their lives. They couldn't get settled anywhere. It was never enough for their mother. Eventually, Christine and Leah began working as maids in various homes together across Le Mans. Despite the challenges they faced, they always preferred to work together. Finding comfort and support in each other's presence, giving that, family unit feeling probably made a big difference for them because, even if you're living amongst a family, you're still staff. So that was nice that they had each other.
Yeah.
Until.
Oh.
So now we're in 1926. Okay, fast forward. Christine secured a live-in position as a maid at 6 Rue Brière.
6 Rue Brière.
There it is. Working for the Lancelin family. So the household of the Lancelin family was comprised of Monsieur René Lancelin.
Oh,
did I do good?
That was beautiful.
I'm not going to say it again like that because it's weird. A retired solicitor. His wife, Madame Leonie. I don't think there's a Leonie. And their young daughter, Genevieve. So Genevieve.
Yeah.
For all us non...
Yeah, that works perfectly.
So they did have another older daughter. She was already married and moved on. So Genevieve, they don't say how old she was, but I think from what I gathered, like late teen, maybe 19, 20, 21. Okay, so it's a retired family, wealthy. Genevieve still looking for love.
Perfect.
All right. When they first started working for the Lancelin family, the sisters excelled. Christine successfully convinced Madame Lancelin to hire Leah as a chambermaid after a few months of exemplary service. The Papin sisters dedicated themselves to long, grueling days, fully committed to their work. However, the atmosphere in the Lancelin home took a dark turn as time passed. Madame Leonie began struggling with depression, and sadly, the sisters became the target of her deteriorating mental state.
That's so sad, and you see that a lot.
Yeah. Right? And mental health is so hard for everyone, but this is a time where, it was almost socially acceptable to treat others poorly.
Absolutely.
That were of less class.
Yeah. Or younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of, generational abuse.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And mental health wasn't really as well known or accepted.
No.
So...
they were doing lobotomies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a problem.
Madame Leonie became really aggressive towards the girls, blaming them for everything that could ever go wrong. When I was reading the report, there were incidents where Madame Lancelin physically assaulted them. An example is this: she would smash their heads off walls, turning their once stable environment to a place of fear. So I'm really sad for these girls because they just can't seem to catch a break. And as I was reading the story, I was like, oh, these poor gals. I just want to love them. Then on the evening of February 2nd, 1933.
Okay.
Monsieur Lancelin was expected to join his wife, Leonie, and their daughter Genevieve for dinner at a family friend's home. Earlier that day, Leonie and Genevieve spent their afternoon shopping, getting ready. When they returned, the house was shrouded in darkness. No lights were on. So when you think about it, imagine how wealthy these people were, because not everyone had electricity.
Right. I was just thinking
Yeah.
Okay, so because they were wealthy, they had electricity already.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a well-established family. Mm-hmm. As they stepped inside, the Papin sisters explained that the power outage had been caused by Christine plugging in a faulty iron to prepare their dresses for the evening.
Okay.
This enraged Madame Leonie. She set off a chain of events that would change everything.
Over
a faulty iron.
All right.
So in a fit of rage, she proceeded to physically attack the sisters. That was
What?
a grave mistake.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Sometimes fuck around and find out.
And I feel like Leonie is about to find out.
Yeah. Upon Leonie's massive freak out, Christine snaps,
Uh-oh.
attacking her daughter Genevieve first. So
Oh.
Christine attacks the daughter. She grabs her and savagely gouges her eyes out of her head.
Shut up.
I can't. Yes, and they were out with her bare hands.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. We've come home. There's no lights on. We're pissed off because there's no lights on. We lash out at these girls who were just trying to iron our nighties.
Yes.
And within seconds, I would imagine,
Yes.
we have no eyes.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God.
So, Genevieve's eyes have now been removed from her head in this
Oh.
vicious attack. Yup. During the attack, Christine then orders Leah, remembering Leah's a little more simple. Christine seems to be
Right.
kind of the antagonist in
Yeah,
this situation. Orders Leah to do the same to Madame Leonie. And she did the same.
I'm sorry. Orders her. I'm just trying to like picture this in my mind. Like, Leah, gouge out her eyes. Like, I don't
Right.
understand.
Okay. What? I just don't understand either. And I can't imagine, like, when I've tried to envision this and reading the court documents, and you'll see why I can't envision, but physically putting your fingers in someone's eyes and removing their eyeballs. That's force.
And are we like, I'm just picturing this like beautiful entrance, right? Because we've only just made it inside the entrance of this home.
Okay, so right now, because they were attacking the girls,
Okay.
it was on the first landing. So you go up one set of stairs.
Okay,
so
I
they're on
can see this.
Yes.
And we just have 4 eyeballs
Yes. Yes. So
on the crimson red carpet.
you know they're probably crimson. They are now.
They are now.
Christine, now in a frenzy, proceeds into the kitchen, downstairs, returning with a large kitchen knife as well as a hammer.
Oh my.
Handing Leah one of the weapons, it's not clear who had what, the sisters then took turns bashing and slashing these women. Mother and daughter, with no eyes, trying to fight off their attackers. But they can't see.
Oh, this is horrific.
Isn't this wild? At one point during the attack, one of the sisters grabs a large water pitcher and uses it on both victims to bash their heads in until there was nothing left. They were unrecognizable. They then proceed to mutilate their buttocks, genitals, and thighs, leaving the bodies essentially exposed in such a manner that has never been seen in that time. Now, modesty is such a huge thing.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you've not only murdered these people, but you're leaving them in such a way of shame that it's like, okay.
All I keep thinking is like, these were like silenced girls.
Yes.
For you to be able to snap like that and do that level of damage in what I can only assume was a very short amount of time.
Yes.
Like, this
it was
is
a
not
frenzy.
taking long. Yeah.
No.
Wow.
All right. So, as the evening progresses, Monsieur Lancelin returns home to find his house shrouded in darkness. Assuming that his wife, Leonie, and daughter Genevieve had already left for the dinner party they were all supposed to go to, he just went to the event himself. He's like, oh, I'll meet them there. So, he arrives at the party, and he was taken aback to find that the girls never arrived. Concerned, he returned to his residence around 6:30, 7 o'clock, accompanied by his son-in-law. So that would be his eldest daughter's husband.
Got it.
To their alarm, the house remained dark, with the only light coming from the Papin Sisters' room. So they noticed the front door was bolted shut from the inside, raising their suspicions. So the house is dark. There's one light shining at the very top of the house in the attic.
This is so Halloween.
It's so wild to me because you can almost envision this grand home and the dresses and the gowns and the macabre and like the
It's giving like, when you've either been scared in your life or something's up and something's wrong, and that like feeling where your stomach like drops into your vagina. Like,
yes.
That's what it's
right
giving.
into the vajay. So feeling something was off, the men made their way to the local police station to summon help. So they are very concerned at this point.
So they immediately were like, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Together with the police officer, they returned to the Lancelin home. The officer, sensing urgency in the situation, climbed over the garden wall to gain entry, not knowing what horror was waiting for him inside.
Oh, no.
The scene was like nothing the police officer had ever seen. There on the floor landing lie the two unrecognizable bodies of Madame Leone and Genevieve. Their faces and heads completely bludgeoned, and their bodies covered in stab wounds, slashes, and left with the dresses turned up, exposing humiliating, damaged bodies.
Just spread eagle.
Yes.
No heads. Eyeballs rolling around.
Mutilated
Spread
privates.
eagle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The most horrifying sight of all was that Madame Leone's eyes were found in the folds of the scarf around her neck. Genevieve's one eye was found under her body and the other on a nearby step.
Oh my God.
This is wild. As the police officer ascended the stairs, he was filled with concern, fearing the Papin sisters had met the same fate.
Of course.
So he approached their door, only to find it locked. After knocking and receiving no answer, the officer decided to call a locksmith to gain entry. When the door finally swung open, he discovered the Papin sisters in bed together, naked, the bloody hammer sitting on the chair in plain view.
Oh no.
Without any pressing from the police,
Oh no.
Christine calmly looked at the officer and stated that she was expecting to see them and that they had committed the murder.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, officer. It was I.
Yeah. It was I.
Where do we go now?
Yeah.
Are we
I've
going
been
for a
waiting
ride?
for you.
I've been waiting for... Oh my...
And the fact that this is actually, these are statements I read when I was reading.
Yeah.
Like, reading it, I was like, you couldn't make it up.
No, well, no.
Like, it's just wild. So, in the aftermath of that fateful night, the Papin sisters confessed to the brutal massacre almost immediately, asserting their actions were committed in self-defense. Okay. So during the trial, a powerful bond was evident as the sisters stood by each other, each taking the blame.
Oh, so they were each just like, no, it was me.
It was me, it wasn't her. And confessing sole responsibility for the violent acts. Their loyalty to one another was striking. Even in the face of these grave charges, they were not wavering.
Wow.
Ultimately, the sisters were sentenced to prison, but they were immediately separated from one another.
Oh, no.
Stay tuned.
I feel like that would be so bad for them.
Oh, yeah. So Christine's time in prison became a source of immense distress for her, particularly due to her separation from Leah.
Yeah.
The emotional strain was overwhelming, and she longed for her sister's presence. In a rare concession, prison officials eventually permitted the two sisters to meet. During this emotional reunion, Christine reportedly threw herself at Leah, unbuttoning her blouse and pleading, "Please say yes."
Oh, fuck no.
Uh-huh. This moment raised eyebrows that led to speculation about the depths of the complexity of their bond.
Oh, gross.
So now we know why they were naked in bed.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Oh, these girls.
The bond of these two sisters is becoming obviously incestuous.
Yeah.
The way they spoke and longed for one another made this very obvious. Now, keep in mind, this is 1933.
Yeah.
Right? This is a time where strong religious beliefs and these kinds of occurrences were not spoken about. There is very little information on the subject, but people can speculate, and lots of people have said that their bond was definitely an incestuous bond, and people later on did say that there were rumors about it, and also other employers that kind of had the sisters around would often say they needed to be separated.
Oh.
And because of it being like a very religious time, I'm wondering if they knew, but no one spoke of that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it coming from a religious background
Yes.
myself, even just thinking on that, like if it passed someone's mind, like if they saw it and they were like, ew, are they like into each other? Even that is a sin.
Yes.
So they would immediately shut that down and be like, well,
We don't
of
even
course
talk
not.
about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this case is so much more than just a crime, but it's a psychological study. Like people for years, psychologists for years have analyzed this and they are just baffled by a lot of the
no
things.
kidding.
So from a modern perspective, Christine Pappin would likely have been diagnosed with a paranoid schizophrenia type
Probably.
thing.
Yeah.
In the 1930s, however, there were no effective treatments for her condition. Today, she would have received major tranquilizers and probably would have lived a different path. In contrast, though, Leah did not show any signs of psychosis. Instead, she appeared to be timid, anxious, and prone to panic when stressed.
She was just a follower.
Yeah. She just didn't know.
And she just did what her sister told her to do
Yeah.
or instructed her to do. Yeah.
It's sad. She likely did suffer from an anxiety disorder and
Sure.
had a lower intelligence, which was often stated in a lot of the records when she was interviewed. She didn't have a lot of thoughts, very simple-minded. So it did make her susceptible to Christine's dominance. During the trial, doctors noted that Leah's personality seemed to have almost completely merged with Christine's personality.
Oh.
So, by all accounts, Leah was a shy, good-natured, and gentle person. Her employers constantly spoke highly of her, whereas Christine had a more difficult personality, and she had been dismissed from jobs for her insolence. Like, she was very argumentative and very domineering.
Yeah, yeah.
The tragedy for Leah was her dependency on Christine.
Yeah.
And they had been had they been separated earlier, I do wonder if she would have had led a blameless life.
Yeah. Well, someone like that, I mean, they're always dependent on someone.
Yes.
So she would have probably just found like a very strong personality in a man or in a partner and latch to that and become a part of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Interestingly, one perceptive employer had suggested to Leah's mother that the sisters should take separate jobs, believing Christine was bad for Leah and there was something going on.
Interesting.
So there were warning signs. I think people were just ignoring them or just kind of, fluffing it.
I kind of wonder, it would be so interesting to, and we'll never know, but it would be so interesting to know if their incestuous relationship began with is it Christine? Yeah.
Yeah.
Raping her. And then her not knowing that that's bad.
Yeah.
And just being like, oh, this is what we do. Look, I made her so happy.
Yes. And that you often see that, like abuse early on, and then you don't understand the difference between
you just
love.
you think that is love.
Yeah.
You think that, well, this is the most attention she's ever shown me. This is love. She finally loves me. Which is sad.
Oh, my heart.
Yeah.
So one episode that led to the diagnosis in 1933, when Christine went into a fit of mania, she tried to gouge her own eyes out. After being placed in a straitjacket and calming down, she went on to say this was the same type of episode that happened the night of the murders. During the trial, the sisters' chosen lawyers pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity on their behalf. Okay. So as the proceedings unfold, Christine and Leah exhibited noticeable signs of mental distress. They often limited their eye contact, staring blankly ahead as if in a daze. So they were not responding to the trial at all, just kind of daydreaming, like they're not really there, kind of spooky. In response to these observations, the court appointed 3 doctors to conduct psychological evaluations of the sisters, aiming to assess their mental state. After thorough examinations, the doctors all concluded that both women had no mental disorders and were in fact sane to fit to stand trial.
Oh my God, is this possession?
I know. I thought about that.
Is this possession?
I thought about that.
I didn't think about it until you said the staring blankly ahead.
Like no no remorse, no
Well,
thoughts,
no
no
thoughts,
emotion.
because in cases of possession, you are taken over. You are possessed.
Yes.
You have been taken over by another entity, which then gives you that flat affect.
Yeah. So
where you're just like, not there.
So I would like to hear from you guys. Do you think the Papin sisters were possessed, or do you think that they were just misdiagnosed?
I would even be so curious, because obviously the house that they were staying at was an estate. It was
Yes.
a large home. Like, what is the history of that house? What happened there before?
Yeah.
Who died there? Very interesting.
And we'll never know.
Spooky.
I know, because I looked.
You're like,
I looked.
don't look, because I already did.
I did the work. Interestingly, they also noted that Christine's affection for Leah seemed rooted in their family ties rather than any pathological attachment, which could also be seen in a romantic attachment.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
again, that was noted again in the case file. But they were very proper and vague on talking about
Of
the
course.
incestuous stuff. So I had to really
course.
dig deep for those. So during the trial, the 1933 medical testimony revealed a troubled family history of mental illness. So this is where I'm like, maybe it was mental illness.
Yeah.
So their uncle had died by suicide.
Okay.
A cousin was living in an asylum.
Okay.
And that was painting the picture of a lineage marked with psychological
Yeah.
struggles. And then also the mom, obviously.
Yeah, Mom was not great.
Mom was not good. Dad was raping daughters. Like, things were
Children.
just
Yeah,
not
yeah,
okay
yeah,
on
yeah.
all parts. So I feel like either side, they were getting the worst of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
The psychology community, or the psychological community, excuse me, grappled with the sisters' case, and eventually a consensus emerged.
You got it.
I'm only human. So after much deliberation, they concluded that Christine and Leah suffered from what was known as shared paranoid disorder.
Ooh.
It's a thing. This condition typically arises in isolated pairs or groups where paranoia develops, often with one partner dominating the other.
Side note, that is really interesting. When the time comes for me to cover the Salem witch trials, there is one of the theories is this. It's like group paranoia.
Yes. Yeah. In this case, Leah's meek and gentle personality was overshadowed by the strong-willed, obstinate Christine.
Yeah.
The psychological landscape of the Papin sisters reveals a complex condition known in France as folie à deux.
Folie à deux.
There it is. A madness in pairs.
That's right. Folie à deux.
This phenomenon, also referred to as shared paranoid disorder, occurs when individuals become enmeshed in an intense inward-looking existence, often isolating themselves from the outside world and then developing like a paranoid view. Oftentimes, it's in a romantic way.
Yeah. But you feed off each other.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, so...
Because so what's so interesting about folie à deux is if we are looking out your window at night and I go, oh my God, Ash, do you see that? And you're going to be like, no. And I'm going to be like, right there. Do you see it? It's the outline of a face. There may be
all
nothing
of a sudden,
there. And all of a sudden you're
see
like,
it.
oh my God, I do see it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. This trial became a national sensation.
No doubt.
Yeah. Drawing mass crowds, both public and press. The scene outside the packed courthouses were electric. So much that police had to be called to manage things and basically keep the onlookers away. Because nothing like this had ever happened. And it was so unbelievable that people had to see it for themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Inside the courtroom, emotions ran high. The judge often found himself having to threaten to clear the galley to maintain order, particularly during the harrowing moments when the details of the eye gouging were recounted. You don't say.
That threw me for a loop.
Oh. In a shocking conclusion to the trial, both sisters were found guilty of murder. Christine was sentenced to death by beheading.
Ooh.
Yes. As the sentence was pronounced, she collapsed to her knees, requiring assistance from her solicitor to regain her composure. Leah, on the other hand, was found guilty of murdering Madame Lancelin, but was not charged with the murder of her daughter. Medical testimony indicated that Genevieve had died before Leah had become involved in the brutal attacks. Ultimately, Leah received a sentence of 10 years of hard labor.
Oof. Yeah. A lot of times that would kill them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is not just that you're picking garbage on the side of the highway.
But yes, yeah.
The jury recognized the extenuating circumstances in Leah's case, noting that she had been completely dominated by the overpowering presence of her sister. After her initial sentence, Christine's punishment was later commuted to life in prison, a common practice for women. So a lot of times they wouldn't actually behead the women. They would just put them in prison for the rest of their lives. Mm-hmm. However, her mental and physical health rapidly deteriorated behind bars, stricken with profound depression over her separation from Leah. Mm-hmm. She refused to eat, and her condition worsened significantly. Eventually, she was transferred to an asylum in Rennes, but despite the change in environment, there was no sign of improvement. I think she was too far gone at that point.
Yeah.
Time passed, and Christine remained trapped in her despair. So in 1937, so 4 years, she succumbed to her suffering, with the official cause of death recorded as, okay, you're going to have to say this because when I say it, it's not going to be pretty. Cachexia?
Can I see?
Yeah. So basically, she starved to death.
Okay.
But back in that time...
Cachexia. I need to look at how we say that because I thought I would know.
Yeah.
And
you always know.
I always know.
So imagine how I felt when I had to say that out loud.
Well done. Yeah. I think I would have pronounced it the same way. Cachexia.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so basically she starved to death. In stark contrast to Christine's tragic decline, Leah maintained her quiet, mild-mannered demeanor throughout her time. Thanks to good behavior, she was granted remission and ultimately released after 8 years.
Wow.
Once free, Leah reunited with her mother.
Ooh.
Which I find, I don't know.
That's weird.
Like, Clemens is like, come on, girlfriend.
Let's go home.
What?
I'd be like, ma'am? No.
No.
Absolutely
Stranger danger. Yeah. And the two settled into the town of Nantes, just south of Rennes, to start anew. Leah actually changed her name.
Okay. I mean, I would too.
Yeah. And she found work in a hotel as a chambermaid. Imagine.
No.
Even though I do think she was kind of partially a victim, she's still
she
guilty.
Still gouged someone's eyes out with her thumbs. Right?
So in 1966, Leah gave a revealing interview, actually, to a journalist from Francois, shedding light on her life in the aftermath of the events. So actually, during the interview, she shared that she frequently experienced vivid visions of Christine appearing to her in spirit form, expressing a deep conviction that her sister was now in paradise.
I don't think so.
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to go with, if we are believing in paradise and not paradise, she might be in not paradise.
Yeah, I don't think so. So Leah actually kept cherished memories of their time together and still, professed her love about her sister.
All right.
She kept a trunk full of Christine's things and often reminisced about them. Her plan was to save up and return to Le Mans to reunite with her other sister, Amelia. Remember Amelia the nun? However, there's no evidence to suggest she ever made the journey. That was basically the last record of what happened to the sisters.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow. That is...
Isn't that...
maybe one of my faves.
I know.
The Papin Sisters.
It was...
Les Papin.
I couldn't stop. Like, my husband was like, I'd be like, and then. He's like, can I just listen to the podcast? Because,
no.
Days into it.
You have to listen to it like that.
Because I couldn't hold it in.
Yeah,
I was so...
No kidding.
Yeah. So that concludes Papin Sisters.
I really enjoyed that, and I will think about that often.
Yeah, I do. I really do.
And I'm telling you, I'm super interested about that house.
I am too.
I have feelings.
I think at, some point we should, go back, have, an episode of, where crimes happened and then dig deep. Remember this story? And...
I want to go to these places.
We could.
I want to go touch the side of that house.
Yes.
And like vibe with it and feel the energy.
Oh, yeah. You'd be really good at that.
I know. Well, my story takes place a little bit later in the world, but not by much.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
We are just birds of a feather.
Girl. So picture this.
I'm ready.
It's Halloween night, 1957.
Okay.
Kids are finally tucked in after the candy rush, some in their pajamas, probably a little sugar crazed, and we all know this. Like, I love Halloween.
Can we talk about that just for a brief second? My best memories of childhood is after you're done trick-or-treating, and I used to put on Are You Afraid of the Dark? Or Goosebumps.
Or Goosebumps.
Yeah.
I was going to say or Goosebumps.
And I'd have all my candy out. Because we
Okay.
had to make sure there were no razor blades or poison.
It's so funny that you say that because I have recently gone down this path of like, I have ADHD and I just was never diagnosed. And when I think back to like Halloween night, I was obsessive. Like, I separated by color my candy. Like, it all had to be, and it had to make sense. Like, I couldn't have like the Smarties box was blue. But, like, I couldn't have that with a chewy candy. So there were two separate, like, chewy candy
yes.
that was blue on top. And then Smartie candy that was blue on the bottom. Like, you couldn't have it.
Oh.
And, like, it's moments like that where I'm like, that was indication number one.
There's the sign.
Yeah. But here we are. Here we
Okay,
are.
let's go.
All right. It's a school night. By 11 p.m., houses are quiet. Lights are off. Halloween is done.
Yep.
But over in the San Fernando Valley, there's one house where Halloween is just about to get terrifying. 35-year-old Peter Fabiano and his wife Betty and their teenage daughter Judy are already asleep. Peter's stepson had headed back to his Navy base earlier in the day, so they really weren't expecting anyone. But just after 11, the doorbell rings.
Trick or treat.
His wife claims that Peter was like, oh my goodness, as if there's trick-or-treaters at this time. So he gets up, grumbles down the stairs, I imagine, like, ugh, what am I even going to say to these kids? But Peter's a good guy. He grabs the candy bowl and he's like, whatever, I'll give them candy. Betty's half asleep in bed and hears him answer the door. He says something like, isn't it a little late for this? Then she hears two other voices. One sounds like a man and the other like a man trying to sound like a woman.
No.
Hello, friends.
Ah!
I know.
No, that really bothers me.
And then Betty hears pop. Betty and Judy jump out of bed, rushing to the door, and there lying just inside is Peter. He's been shot and he's in bad shape. Judy, in a total panic, races 2 doors down to their neighbor, Bud Alper, who is a cop. Bud gets on the phone with LAPD, and within minutes, the house is crawling with officers. They rush Peter to the hospital, but he doesn't make it.
Oh,
That one gunshot was fatal.
poor Peter.
Before he died, he said that the trick-or-treater that shot him had a brown paper bag over the gun and made it look like they were holding up to get candy and shot him through the bag.
And I guess he didn't say, like, were they, like, adults? Were they kids?
They were bigger.
Okay.
There's no sign of a break-in, not even shell casings, and nothing is missing. So they're like, well, this isn't a robbery. Betty, in total shock, tells the detectives that she has no idea why anyone would want Peter dead. They were happily married, running 2 beauty shops, and living a pretty nice life. But detectives knew there had to be something more. Now, a neighborhood kid tells police he saw a car speed away right around the time of the shooting, but that's all he's got. So the police start digging. They look into Peter's background, thinking maybe this was some kind of hit. Like, the mob was big then, right?
Okay.
So they're like, all right, Pete, what were you involved in? Because people don't just show up at your door, shoot you dead.
Like a random attack.
And like they were saying, nothing was stolen. They didn't take anything.
So it was a hit.
literally a hit.
Okay.
They find a tiny blemish on his record, a minor bookmaking charge from 1948, but that's it. Peter was a former Marine, a stand-up guy who honestly sounds like he was just living a normal life. He'd worked as a bartender, met Betty, and thanks to her encouragement, got into the beauty business. Their life was pretty basic. They'd even opened up a second beauty shop recently, and things were good. So who in the world would have wanted Peter dead? Well, says Betty.
Oh, snap.
She says there was one person who had been a bit of a thorn in their marriage. A woman named Joan Ravel.
You don't say.
So here's the scoop on Joan. She's an older woman, a cosmetics sales rep, and she and Betty had been close. Like Papin Sisters close.
Oh.
Quite close.
Like, yeah.
Bow chicka wow
Yes.
close.
Okay.
Peter had told Betty he didn't want Joan around anymore. He felt like there was something weird about their friendship, which there was, because they were obviously bumping uglies. They'd actually fought about it, and it even got so bad that Betty left him for a month. So she moved out into a hotel for a whole month. But she eventually came back, and she promised not to see Joan anymore. But still, Joan wasn't exactly thrilled with Peter after that. Like, he was not her favorite person.
No, because he stole her girl.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Detectives pull Joan in for questioning. She tells them flat out that she hated Peter, but she swears she wouldn't have killed him. She doesn't even have a car, and police were sure the killer had driven off. So she's let go for now.
There were two people.
And also, do you know how quickly I could get a car right now?
Yes.
Ashley, can I borrow your car?
Sure, Tal.
Yeah, see? Then weeks go by, 6 whole weeks, and suddenly the police get a surprise confession from a 43-year-old woman named, I love her name, Goldine Pizer.
It sounds like a character from Clue.
I was going to say like a detective. Detective Goldine Pizer. She was not a detective, she was a murderer.
Oh.
But she comes in, she sits down, she tells detectives, it's a relief to get this off my mind. It's been eating away at me. Goldine admits to shooting Peter, but she doesn't stop there. She says, I did it because my friend Joan talked me into it.
Oh, Joan.
Joni. So how did these two cook up this murder? It turns out Joan had spent months ranting to Goldine about Peter, calling him evil and painting him as this horrible man who was apparently ruining people's lives and like ruining Betty. Joan's words worked like magic on Goldine. She was convinced Peter was some kind of monster. And Joan used that to her advantage.
Of course.
Goldine says she went out and bought a .38 special and practiced shooting it. On Halloween, Joan showed up with an outfit. Jeans, khaki jackets, hats, masks, gloves, the whole getup. The two dressed up, drove to Peter's house, and waited. Once they saw the lights go out, Goldine rang the bell, expecting Peter would just think it was a late-night trick-or-treater, which he absolutely did. When he opened the door, she lifted the gun concealed in the brown paper bag, pointed it, and fired. Afterward, they took off in the car Joan had borrowed from her friend. Because duh.
Right?
Joan even told Goldine afterward, forget you ever saw me.
Oh my God.
But we all know how that turned out.
So dramatic.
I know, right? Like,
forget you saw me.
get out of here.
You just convinced someone to murder someone.
Right? Like,
Let's forget about this.
Blood. Like, trick or treat, pow pow. Like, hello. The grand jury indicted both women, and Goldine broke down telling everyone about Joan's manipulations of how she'd been made to believe that Peter was this awful person. They were both sentenced to 5 years to life.
5 to life?
Which I don't understand. Like, I'm a little bit confused because I'm like, 5 years is like a line of credit.
Yes.
Like, what?
Yes.
Are you talking about?
That's wild to me. That's less than my car payment term.
Yeah. As for Joan, the rumor is she wanted Peter out of the picture because she was in love with Betty, and Peter was in her way. They could never be together, ever again, so long as Betty was married to Peter. But let's be real. Betty ended up losing everything, including her husband, and she never remarried. She passed away in 1999, carrying everything with her.
Wow.
Joan vanished. There's no trace of her after her sentencing. Maybe she disappeared into some quiet life, or maybe not. But it's wild to think how with just a little bit of manipulation, Halloween turned from a fun family night into absolute horror. So when you are out for Halloween tonight, keep in mind, it could be cute little trick-or-treaters, but, like, be a little paranoid. Because Peter wasn't, and he should have been.
I'm not getting trick-or-treaters this year because I now live in a condo.
I really hope, you know what, we didn't get very many last year, and I'm like, was my house not appealing enough? Like, do I need to go harder?
And you start getting insecure? Is it me?
No, legitimately, I'm like watching all these kids and I'm like, oh my God, look at those cuties across the street. And then they like don't come and I'm like, do they not see our pumpkin? Is our pumpkin not bright enough? Is our pumpkin not carved enough? Are we not enough?
Okay. I have one glass pumpkin on my table because I have no place to put anything in my condo.
And that's...
I used to go balls to the wall.
You were so balls to the wall.
I had a graveyard and I had
I know.
talking
you know
things.
what? I wanted a graveyard this year and it didn't happen.
I know. It's so hard to find the time.
Yeah.
And the cost.
Oh, don't even.
I was thousands of dollars in. And it was the best thing ever. And now I have one glass pumpkin.
Ash was thousands deep into the Halloween graveyard.
Now I have a glass pumpkin. And
you know what? It's a spirit
floral
that
arrangement.
Counts. I know.
My
it's
island.
A spirit that counts.
Thanks for joining us on Triggered, where we dive deep into the dark, the twisted, and the cosmic mysteries of the universe.
Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, always watch the stars and your back.